Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 26 in my Automate Everything Minecraft series. In today's episode, I am going to be working on upgrading my Applied Energistics system right here by adding a bunch of storage. Now, to do that, first off, I'm going to grab a bunch of covered cable here, and then next I'm going to grab a bunch of storage buses. And let's see if I can actually type this out. Storage buses. And storage buses are made like this, a sticky piston, and an ME interface. And ME interfaces are made like this. I have all of it automated, so I have a bunch of them already right here. I may need a few more or a few less, I'm not really sure. And then additionally, we are going to be using black hole units. Now, if I need to expand this in the future, I can go ahead and use black hole controllers. But for right now, I'm just going to use the black hole units. In addition to what I've grabbed so far, I also need to grab some ME conduit from the mod Ender.io. So let's grab some of that. And let's also grab some facades. I have made several facades between episodes. It's a pretty easy recipe. You just need some binder composite, and then you throw that into a furnace of some sort. You get the binder, and then it's pretty easy to make the facades. And then I used a painting machine to paint them all as stone. So, where we're going to have all of this is in this building right here. And I think I have a pretty good location for all of this. We're not going to put it here. We're actually going to put it on this floor right here. And we're going to put the storage buses, or the black hole units rather, and the storage buses, I guess, into the wall like so. Now, actually, there's at least one more thing I need to grab. I think I have it automated. Let's grab some quartz fiber. I do. I have plenty of it. So that's cool. And then how we're going to do this is we're just going to dig out these walls here. And I'm going to do this one wall for right now, independent of the others. And then we can go from there. Okay, so how this is going to work, we're going to have the covered cable down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is how far we can go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's kind of how I figured this would shape up. So what we need to do here is we actually need to grab some dense cable. And I think I also have that automated. I do not have that automated. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. Oh, whoops, I forgot. I put a roof on this thing. Normally I would just fly out, but I have a roof now. So for the dense ME conduit, let's see if that's, yes, that's what it's actually called. It's a recipe like this. So let's make some of that. I had it up and then I deleted it. Okay, dense ME conduit. I'm not sure how much this will need. Let's just start out with 50. I think that'll be enough. So how we're going to route this is... Oh, shoot. One more. We're going to... I think the best way would be something like... And then... Do I have some... Yes. Okay, so this right here actually needs to be... Not that. It needs to be the dense variety. And then this over here actually doesn't need to be the dense variety. And we'll see why here in a second. Right here I have a length of 8, and this one is also a length of 8. One of them, however, needs to be right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick a quartz fiber right here, and then we can stick the last cable right here. Now the thing is, this regular covered cable can only hold 8 channels at a time. We have a length of 8 over here, so it will only be 8 channels. So we can use the regular conduit over here. So we'll do that, and that should connect up. We should have our 8 channels, which is our max, and that's all fine and dandy. But over here we have 9 channels that we need to power, so what we can do is use the dense cable into a dense cable right here, and this can hold up to 32 channels, and that's fine because we only have 9. So that should all work out, and we should have all of our all the channels we need. So let's go ahead and stick down the actual storage buses here. Oh. Okay, I totally forgot about that. So we're going to have to route this slightly differently because I cannot stick a storage bus on a dense covered cable. So what I can do is something like this. It's not going to be pretty, but once we actually cover it up, you won't even be able to notice. So it's not really a problem. So we'll stick one more dense covered cable right here. And then we will have, say, a quartz fiber here. And then we can have covered cable here. And that should be, where's our other quartz fiber? Here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fine. 4 is less than 8. And then we do need to have an ME conduit right here. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's cool. That should all work now once we get these installed. So the next thing I want to do is kind of cover this up. So this will be what it looks like once we actually get all of this finished. And then we'll have the actual black hole units over here. Let's grab some stone real fast. Let's get rid of that. I shouldn't need any more than this if I don't mess up. I probably will, but... Okay, so now we need to actually grab some black hole units. I actually want to grab the 9 that are right in here in this black hole controller. So let's go ahead and do that. And of course, all of the things pop out, but it's not really a big deal because I have plenty of all of this stuff. I guess I can go ahead and put it away. Is that everything? It's almost everything. Okay. So now that all of that's put away, let's go ahead and set these up fully, I guess. So the first thing I actually need to do with these storage buses is I need to give them a positive priority. And to do that, we just do this. 100 should be good. I could go ahead and just do 1,000, but that seems excessive. Anyways, it just needs to be higher than the ME drive that we have installed up by our pattern terminal. So that's why we're doing this. Technically, I could use +1, but in the future, I'll probably expand this system quite a bit. So having it at +100 gives us room to place things with a priority of in between the ME drives, but lower than these ME storage buses. So the next thing we'll probably have to do is we'll probably actually have to rip out the floor right here, because when we go ahead and install our black hole units, say like this one right here, I do want to go ahead and hit this button right here. So let's go ahead and rip up all of this. And I didn't actually mean to kill the facades, but that's okay. So one thing I can do real fast is I can go ahead and rip out all of the stone around here so that we can install these things all the way around, which is kind of what I'm planning on doing. And then once I have all of that installed, I will be right back. Okay, now I have storage buses all the way around. They are connected to the ME controller here. So let's get started on what we need to do. Now, this next step is pretty easy. We just lay down the black hole units. We have to hit this, and then we just keep going. I actually want to place the ingots together, so let's grab those, and we can put those last. Okay. Okay, yes. That's how we want to be. Now I'm forgetting my train of thought. Just have to do that. Okay, so what I actually need to do here is I need to put the ingots last so it doesn't auto pick them out of my inventory. And then we can go ahead and do this. Whoops. It's not the super ideal way to do this, but whatever. So now we can go ahead and do our ingots. I actually want to do the ingots along one of the walls, so we can, with iron being the one that I view as most important, let's place it there. And then copper, tin, and gold. Sounds good. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is let's get rid of these. Let's look at the Applied Energistics system and see what we have the most of and what we do not already have black hole units for. So let's just go in order here. Lapis, coal, redstone, nether quartz, lead, silver, glowstone. And basically, we're just going to be grabbing all of the stuff that doesn't already have a black hole unit, which is going to be a lot of stuff here. Okay, so the last one is ionite. Let's do it this way because we're going to have to actually do it something like this. So this should work out pretty well. Should everything function like it's supposed to. And I think I forgot to do something for for those 3 walls over there for the storage buses. I forgot to set the priority, but we can do that here in a second. Okay, that's not what that's supposed to do. It's because I didn't do this. Okay, so that should be better. Okay, so let's actually get rid of this ice. And I can go ahead and do this off camera. It's the same thing as before. I just need to set these to 100 priority. And then I'm going to be right back. So I have all of the priorities set. Let's continue with this setup. So nickel, Certus, refined uranium. And this will take a lot of load off of the actual storage cells that we have upstairs in my MA drive. Because most of the items will actually make their way to these black hole units. Most of the items that I'm getting anyways. So that will be really, really nice, and it'll be really useful to have the system in place, especially when I start scaling up exactly how much stuff I'm getting. Because right now I have I think a tier 4 void ore miner installed, and when I eventually get to the tier 6 version, I will do that on camera because that's kind of a milestone. But the thing is, the installation process is more or less the same each step up. It's just a bigger structure with more complex components. And I did not do this first. Whoops. So that should be good. Okay, so ionite's the last thing we had there. Let's continue. Ionite. And did I just have magnesium? It might have been lithium or something like that. Anyways, so let's continue. Lithium just dropped. I grabbed 2 things of peridot. The thing is, we have the numbers are so close of these things that since I'm sorting by numbers, when I grabbed some, it dipped down below something else. So then I grabbed another stack of it. So lithium, where's lithium? I don't have rubies, and I don't have aquamarine shale. I have lithium sapphire. Do I have sapphire? I don't think I have sapphire. Okay, need cinnabar, draconium, mana, amber, resonating, ardite and cobalt, wool, diorite, uranium, energized netherrack, destabilized redstone, dimensional shard, and resonant and stone. Okay, cool. So let's continue here, and let's try to put these things all the way around, even though I don't necessarily need to at this point. It still would be nice to do. And once again, I biffed this. I'm not really used to setting these up like this, but it should work. Should work fine if I do it right. Anyways, this should be a really nice system to have, especially moving forward. Right now it's not super necessary, but whoops. If I'm gonna build this thing, we might as well build it right. I do pride myself on creating really nice, big, large, usable energistic systems. Although in the future, I should definitely check out refined storage. I know a very little about that mod, but it's similar to Applied Energistics. It's definitely something I could use in the future. I should check out. I might very well do that in this series at one of my far-flung bases that I eventually create. But for right now, Applied Energistics works great. Okay, so let's count how many we have left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 12, we need 12 more things. So resonant and stone was the last thing we grabbed. Dirt. Let's definitely do processors. Okay, so rock crystal, andesite, netherrack. I don't need to do wood, because I'll be creating most of my wood on demand. So now we have 8. Let's see here. Granite. Charged certus, limestone, pulverized coal, and limestone. Except I already had limestone, so let's do sponge. Okay, so that should be everything we really need. And let's do the processors together, because just for the sake of me kind of knowing where they are. Did I do that right? I didn't do that right. There. Better. Oh, this is granite. Okay, now that we've got this pretty much all sorted out, let's see what else I could do. I do need to make this look nice and tidy, so let's do that real fast. Okay, so that should be pretty good for right now. In the future, I might add some more stuff somewhere else. I'm not really sure. We also might change a few of the things. Some of the stuff is not really important to me and may never be important, so we might just get rid of it. But for right now, this is a pretty nice storage system. And it encompasses pretty much all of what we get from our automations. So that's cool. I guess there is one thing I could try. I'm not really sure if it'll be successful or not, but we can use an MEIO. And let's actually try that out. Okay, so a little glitchy right there. That's cool. We can actually get rid of this right here, because we don't need that anymore. And then let's grab an MEIO, and we need 3 of these guys to make it a little bit faster. Slap this down, put these in here, and then let's see if we can't get some of this stuff out. So I'm not sure or not if this is actually working as intended. And we'll find out. I was really hoping to be able to empty all of this out and have a lot of the stuff go over there. We'll see how successful this is here in a second. Because then once I actually store all of these things, I can pull them all out and see what's left in the system. And everything that's left in the system is actually stored by those storage buses and the black hole units down there. Okay, so we are out of space again. So I don't think this is actually quite working how I want it to, but there is something we can do to fix that. Okay, so what we can do here is we can just pull all of this out and then see what we have in here. So let's sort by number of items. And you know what? We do have quite a bit of stuff in the storage buses with the black hole units over there, but we still do have a lot of stuff on these drives. So one thing we can do is we can actually set up a new system. And this will be a temporary system. It's just for sorting purposes. Let's get an ME drive. We will need a terminal. Actually, a terminal isn't completely necessary for the system, but it will be nice to check in on it. Actually, it kind of will be necessary. Never mind. And we'll see why in a few minutes. But let's grab some cable. We need an energy. Actually, we can just go ahead and use a controller, an ME controller, as our energy acceptor. And then we will need some export buses with some cards. And that will be enough cards. And then we will need an import bus. Actually, no, we won't. We'll just need an ME interface. And then let's go ahead and make 10 of these guys. And these will be placed back in here. Okay, so while that's crafting, we can go ahead and kind of set up this temporary system. So we'll need to have access to power, so I think we can go ahead and set it up something like right here with the drive. And then this is going to be terrible looking, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like. And then we will need an ME interface, which will need to be anywhere over here, essentially. Let's do right here, and then we can do 2 export buses right here and here. Okay, so essentially this little thing is a system, and then it will export items into the main system. And to actually figure out what we need to export, we need to go and grab those drives. We can actually get rid of this for right now. So let's see here. Should have 10 of these guys. That's cool. And for whatever reason, this thing still wigs out whenever we make storage cells. Okay, so let's get rid of, or let's put in a bunch of empty drives now. Fantastic. Now let's take these full drives over here to this temporary system. Let's just throw them in here. And now let's see what we have lots of. We will sort by number of items. We can pull that out. Wait, what? Is this actually connected up? It's not supposed to be. I bet it's not. I bet I'm just... Okay, so the lapis would be somewhere over here. I'm not really sure exactly where it'll be, but let's... Okay, so there's only 7,000, so yes, the lapis, most of the lapis is in here. So that's cool. So let's actually start this process. So basically, we're going to do the things we have most of. So that's 8, that's 9. So basically, it'll just export items into the main system, and the main system should put those items into their proper location. So right now, it's exporting lapis. Let's take a look at the lapis storage cell if we can find it. And I think I am too far. Okay, so this should be going up by increments of 32 or 64. It looks like it's working, so the lapis is coming to where it should, which is the purpose of this temporary system. So that's cool. Let's grab the next few things. So we have everything up to electron, or electrotine. Okay, so that should be, let's make sure we don't have any duplicates here. And it looks like we're good. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to sort things, and I can do this off camera. I'm just going to be basically using the same process, and eventually we should have these drives pretty much all of the high volume items moved over to the main system so that they are actually in the black hole units here, which will be nice and fantastic. That means that these storage cells right here won't get too crowded. They do have a little bit of stuff incoming from the void ore miner, and maybe a little bit of stuff from the exports I just set up, but it shouldn't be too bad. Most of it should be going to the black hole units like it is set up to, so that's pretty fantastic. I think this is a good wrapping up point. So in today's episode, I set up all of the storage along the walls here, all of these awesome black hole units. It should be really, really nice to have these things set up, and we should see most of our items incoming go into these black hole units, which will not crowd our storage cells that we have in our ME drive over there, which is nice. And then I also set up this completely temporary Applied Energistics system just to sort things a little bit better, to empty out these 10 storage cells here for the most part. So that should be really nice. So if you liked today's episode, give it a like. If you like automation and modded Minecraft, subscribe to my channel because that's kind of what I do. Signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.